Well, hello folks. I thought I'd make another video for you guys. I thought I'd make this video because you might have saw my previous video saying, how Stop and Shop, my employer, was on strike. And, for those of you who shop there or not employed there, we are back. We are back, working. Um, so I thought I'd make another video for you guys since we are back. Um, and this is my video, Chicago, Illinois travel guide. Okay. Now the first thing, well, we drove there. It's about 1,000 miles. So if you drive there, please bring a DVD player or something. Make yourself comfortable, because it's about 16, 17 hours one way, about 1,000 miles. And I also, but it is a beautiful ride. By the way, I know my geography. I am from the Massachusetts area. So it's Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, I believe. All right. It is a beautiful ride, though. By the way, um, it's a beautiful ride. One thing you go by is so many cell phone towers. There are so many like really, really high cell phone towers, 400 feet to 800 feet. That's what you see a real lot of. We saw the Cleveland Indians Stadium driving there. Um, and yeah, just it is very scenic. Lake Erie going through Ohio. I believe we saw signs for Cedar Point Amusement Park. Um, and yeah, so it's a beautiful drive. Moving forward, we stayed outside of Chicago in a town called Westmont, Illinois. Clubhouse Inn, it was called. Um, Clubhouse Inn. It's very nice, clean, hot tub, pool, free breakfast. So I highly recommend that. I highly recommend that. Westmont is very nice too. A BMW dealer, um, Polo, which is a fun sport. There's a PA guy. For those of you who don't know what Polo is, it's a game with horses. They they shoot it and they aim for a net. They hit a ball when someone's with all the players riding a horse. It's a pretty expensive sport, I gotta say, but that's what rich people play. So I highly recommend taking taking the train in to Chicago if you stay anywhere outside, such as Westmont. I went in the skydeck of the Sears Tower, which is the Willis Tower now. Um, Now, one thing, folks, is it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. When you pull in on the train that day, and when I saw the Willis Tower for the first time, I mean, you guys will be amazed at the height of that. It does not look high in photos, but um, once you see it the first time, you're like, well, when I pulled in on the train and I saw that the first time, we got around the corner, I'm like, oh my gosh, photos do not do this justice. I mean, it's nuts that it's the 17th or 18th tallest global now. Because I was born in '94, and it was the tallest building in the world when I was born. From '74 to '98, I think it was the tallest in the world. But it's nuts how there's 16 or 17 taller than it now in the world. But yep, the Willis Tower I highly recommend. There's also a fountain um, downtown Chicago. It makes it's like an animation of a person and their mouth. It shoots out water. It like sticks its tongue out at times. It's cool yet creepy. I highly recommend that because it gets pretty hot in Chicago. I mean, when we were outside in that town, like Westmont, I said, it's I mean, it felt like over 100. I mean, the thermometer said 87, but it had to be 100% humidity. I mean, as soon as we got out of the car and just walking around, you felt like you were gonna melt. Um, so make sure you stay plenty hydrated. Um, so like I said, the Willis Tower is absolutely amazing. The fountain, which spits water, that's pretty cool. The bean is also pretty awesome. I mean, that's another thing. I think photos don't really show the justice of the bean. It's like the biggest mirror in the world. It reflects off everything. You can see like half the skyscrapers in the city. You can go under it. I don't know the dimensions of it, but it's pretty awesome. The bean. Just look up any of these things, folks. I'm trying to describe them the best I can, but Chicago is an awesome city. Um, and Overall, the tourist area of Chicago is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's so much artwork throughout the city. Um, and another thing, one of the best things in Chicago, get a ride from a taxi, okay? The taxi driver we had was, you felt like you were on a roller coaster, okay? He was zooming out of lanes quickly. Um, he was taking quick turns, went through a red light. It's bumpy, but it's an adrenaline rush. I mean, make sure you buckle up though. I know a lot of people don't buckle up in taxis, but make sure in Chicago you buckle up because you're guaranteed to have a wild ride. Um, and then we went through one of those underground tunnels or garages, which I think are close to the Willis Tower. He was going like 80 or 90, like 90 miles an hour, I think, or close to 100. Even the two people I went with that were in the back seat with me, they were like laughing. I've never gone this fast. We were like weightless and oh my gosh. But get a ride from a taxi. You'll guarantee to have a wild ride and feel like you're on a ride or roller coaster. It's an adrenaline rush. You'll feel like you're on the Autobahn or something. Um, it's kind of understandable though, because the more fares they get, the more money they make. Um, so a taxi ride won't disappoint. Um, Another thing, deep dish pizza, which I believe is right near. It's right near Two Prudential Center. Two Prudential Center. It's right near. And deep dish pizza, yeah, it's a lot of cheese, and that's another thing that doesn't disappoint. I mean, it's really tasty. Um, and Two Prudential Center is also very tall. Also, it's about 1,000 feet. And being right next to that, you even look up at that tower like, whoa, you kind of get dizzy looking up at that tower also. It's not much shorter than the Willis Tower. Um, but yep, it's right near Two Prudential Center. Um, and yep, um, and overall, it's just so many skyscrapers, really. Um, and and like I said, I think the Willis Tower was the best of all. I mean, like I said, folks, it does not look high in photos, but being there, photos don't do the justice. Being there and seeing that for the first time, oh my gosh, um, from like a distance, and then being right next to it when we got there. I mean, the dimensions, like how wide the base is, and just the height of it. Being there is incredible. Um, and yeah, other than that, I think a flight there is only like 2 hours. Um, but I think I've covered just about everything. If you drive there, like I said, it's about 16 or 17 hours because I'm from the Massachusetts area. Um, but it's a nice ride, but you want to stop, make sure you stop like every 2 hours so you don't get sore. And I think that's about it. Um, if if you guys want me to, if you guys would like me to review any more places, I've been to Niagara Falls, Ontario. I've been to Washington D.C. I have been to Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Uh, I have been to Manhattan a few times. I think those I think those are all the other places I've been. Um, and yeah, Bermuda. Um, and yeah, those other places I mentioned. Just comment below what you'd like to see a review of, what you'd like me to do a travel guide of in the next video. Um, just comment below those places I mentioned, what you'd like to see next, me do a travel review on. And that's it.